Countdown is on to their meeting in the ring. Wow. But the story of their journey there was anything but complete. Yeah. As the two best fighters in the world risk everything for history.
Is there a fighter in the world that can beat Bud Crawford? I ain't came across him yet. Everything happened for a reason, and I truly and firmly believe the reason for me to be in this situation right now is to become 3-time undisputed champion of the world.
I'm here in boxing to make history, and winning for me means a lot in this fight because he's one of the best in the last 15 years. He accomplished a lot and I accomplished a lot, and I think it's a perfect match.
I was excited, but I wasn't like, oh, I beat Spence, or I didn't. It was something that I already knew was gonna happen. I just needed the opportunity to show everyone.
He is willing to take a risk. This is literally uncharted territories for Terence Crawford.
I don't care. He can weigh 200. That's gonna be bad on him.
Don't let anyone tell you that the weight doesn't matter. It makes this a monumental accomplishment for Crawford.
Putting on muscle don't actually mean that you're gonna be slower, but you punch a little harder.
Yeah. Now I feel it. It's different. When we spar, it's a whole different. But now he got the power. He's always had power, but now it's a different power, man. And he still got the speed and the movement and agility is crazy, man. So his movement ain't nothing changed, man. They gonna see. They gonna see, man. And I wish it was September 12th right now. It'll be tomorrow. But we got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks from tomorrow. Everybody's gonna see. It's gonna be groundbreaking. It's gonna be something like spaceship landed on Earth.
Crawford's sparring partner revealed that this camp feels different. His power, speed, and movement are on another level. Now Canelo is walking straight into that storm, a fight that could shake the sport like never before. Crawford's coach, Spike, added bold reassurance, saying, "Everything is going to work. Everything will be perfect. His weight is good. His legs are fine. His mind is sharp. We've done our homework. Everything's going to be fine." It was more than confidence, it was certainty. Every detail, from weight to mindset, had been sharpened with precision. The way Spike delivered it, you could sense the calm before the storm, as if nothing had been left to chance. Canelo isn't just facing Crawford, he's facing a camp convinced destiny is already sealed. And when the bell rings, the world may witness a night that redefines what's possible inside the ring. Then came a reality check from Spike, reminding everyone this isn't just about size.
Like, people are more concerned looking at the size, but Canelo is an intelligent boxer. There's always a method to what he's doing. So let me just make that clear. We're not going in there just looking at size. Canelo is smart. Canelo set traps. He has good timing, solid defense. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's respect given to Canelo and everything that he's accomplished. He's seen every style. He's overcome a lot of obstacles that he's been faced with. So I don't want the narrative, you know, I see that the narrative is size, but Canelo is a smart fighter in his own right. However, like I told you before, our IQ, our toolbox, same situation I told you last time. Picking the right tool at the right time is going to beat this guy. We're prepared for every situation possible, whether it's on the ropes, center of the ring, wherever you want to put it. We're prepared for any and every scenario come fight night.
He knew Canelo's strength wasn't just physical, it was in his mind, his traps, timing, and defense, the tools that break opponents before the knockout comes. But Spike made it clear they've sharpened Crawford's mind to match and even outthink that challenge. This fight isn't muscle against muscle, it's strategy against strategy, IQ against IQ. When two masterminds collide, one wrong move can change everything. That's where the real danger lies, and that's why Fight Night could flip the script in ways no one expects. He also pointed to Canelo's training partners, but Spike brushed it off with confidence.
I mean, we can't be worried about what he's doing. He's doing the right thing to get the best guys to try to get him prepared. I mean, he should be taking Bud serious. I hope he's not taking Bud lightly. So, I mean, obviously he's taking his camp serious and getting good guys in there to push him. I mean, we got good guys in there to push us. We're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. It doesn't matter what he does over there. And at the same time, a lot is made due about sparring and just overall, like 16 ounces in headgears is different than 10 ounces and under the lights. So with that being said, I'm not concerned about, and our team, we're not concerned about who we sparring with, this and that and other. That's why I made the joke on Twitter. Well, I hope the odds swing in his favor since he's working with Boots and everybody think that that's such a huge advantage for him. Okay, so I was just making a little joke about it, and I'm serious at the same time.
For him, it wasn't about who stood in the opposite camp, it was about who stood inside their own gym. They believe Crawford's preparation covers every possibility. No headgear, no excuses, just the raw truth under the lights. Sparring might give some an edge, but it can't predict the chaos of the ring. Spike spoke like a man with complete faith in his system, leaving the sense that Crawford is already 2 steps ahead. The talk then shifted to history and the fact that skills can erase size.
You know what, these type of fights, it's usually people look at it as like the smaller fighter usually has to box and move. A lot of people are drawing comparisons to like Leonard and Hagler or any type of other fighter moving up. And the big key of it is speed. Is there truth behind all that? I know that speed's always a component of all of it, but more than normal because of the fact that...
I'm going to say styles make fights. Styles make fights. Littler guys with more skill have beaten bigger guys over the years. Like it's happened. Like you said, Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. You could say when Michael Spinks moved to heavyweight, he was a light heavyweight champion. Evander Holyfield was a light heavyweight cruiserweight champion. Usyk is a smaller guy. It's not a natural, I mean, he's grown into the weight now, but he's beating bigger guys with his boxing skill. I mean, it goes on and on. The skills pay the bills at the end of the day. It's just about being prepared, having a good game plan, and having the right dog in the race. You know what I mean? And that's what matters.
From Leonard to Usyk, the story has stayed the same: smaller, smarter men rising to shock giants. Spike reminded everyone that boxing isn't math, it's art, timing, and heart. Canelo may be the bigger man, but skill can bend the rules of weight and reach. Crawford isn't just coming to fight, he's coming to rewrite the script. History shows that underdogs with the right tools can make legends fall, and that shadow now hangs over Canelo. Spike then pulled back the curtain on sparring, admitting it wasn't always easy.
It was a tricky style. He did a lot of feints, he wasn't committing, he was very patient. You know, this is a completely different style from what Canelo's going to bring. So, you know, Mazurov gave us a little bit of difficulty. He came to win, he came prepared, but we overcame the obstacle. You know, and that's just that. That's in the past, and you know we're looking towards Canelo.
Madramov's tricky style forced them to dig deeper, adapt, and sharpen every detail. It was a test, a reminder that victory comes through obstacles. But that challenge only hardened Crawford for what's ahead. Canelo won't bring feints and hesitation, he'll bring fire. And in that fire, Crawford's true preparation will be revealed. Spike spoke as if the storm they faced in training was just a preview of the war to come. The talk then shifted to Canelo's past losses, and Spike didn't hold back on the truth.
I can't say. I can't get into that. But I'm going to say that I love Bivol. I love Dimitri Bivol. He's one of my favorite fighters. He lost to a hell of a fighter. He lost to a future Hall of Famer. And, you know, that's just that. There's nothing I can really say about that. He didn't lose to a regular guy. He lost to a pound-for-pound elite fighter and a bigger guy at that. So, I mean, that's not much that I can really say about that. But as far as his improvements, he's shown some things, but, you know, we'll see us exploit them on Fight Night.
He emphasized that yes, Canelo has been beaten, but Spike framed it as a loss to greatness, not weakness. Respect was given, but respect doesn't equal fear. They've studied Canelo's improvements, dissected every adjustment he's made since, and behind Spike's words was the promise that those same adjustments will be turned into openings. On fight night, it won't be about the past, it'll be about who bends the present to their will. And Spike hinted that man will be Crawford. Then he broke down one of the biggest myths of the fight, size.
He was 14, 15 years old. So size doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's a skill. It's what you got up here and it's what you got here. Everything else will fall into.
To him, size is just an illusion, one Crawford shattered years ago. Since his teenage days, he's faced bigger, stronger men and never flinched. What matters is the mind and the heart, that's where the real fight is won, not on the scales. Spike delivered it as a warning to Canelo, his weight won't save him when skill takes over. And in that ring, the smaller man might carry the bigger punch. Spike left the room with one chilling promise for Canelo.
Sure. Canelo is going to feel his power. Canelo is going to respect Bud Crawford. He's not going to be able to just walk through him and whatever he thinks. You know what I mean? Bud is a very strong fighter. He's a very good puncher. And like I said before, this is going to be the key in this. Punching power, speed, timing, all that's good. But it's a mental game. This is what's going to carry us through that night.
The moment they trade leather, Canelo will realize Crawford isn't built to be walked down. Power, timing, and speed, all sharpened to cut through even the toughest guard. But beyond fists, it's the mental edge Spike trusts. Then Nelson shifted gears, breaking down why this fight with Canelo is unlike anything fans have seen before. He spoke with the kind of certainty that makes you stop and listen.
I understand, man. Like, every fight is different. There are so many perspectives and so many things that go on. And not to reveal everything, but that fight was that fight. This fight for Canelo, man, like, it's not fight night yet, but him moving up, people are going to be surprised, dude. It's not like he's a small guy and he just put on a whole bunch of weight. Like, Bud is he's a bigger friend. He always been bigger. He always had to cut down. He always had to cut down to them weights. So now he gets the difference from this fight is he won't have to cut down. He just go in the ring. You look at all this weights for all the other fights. It's 168, 170. So when he fought 154, he was like 170, 172 going in the ring. So he's gonna go in there the same way this fight. He's strong, man. He's strong.
Crawford isn't coming in as an undersized underdog. This is a version of Bud who won't be drained or held back, a fighter stepping into the ring at full strength. Nelson's words painted a picture of a man built for this weight, built for this moment. And if Canelo thinks size will be his advantage, he may be in for a rude awakening. The suspense grows heavier with every word, because the truth is we won't know until the first punch lands. But when it does, the world will see just how real this fight is. Later, Nelson pulled back the curtain further, sharing stories that revealed a side of Crawford most people never get to see. It wasn't hype, it was history.
Boxing. But even before I sparred, Bud always sparred bigger guys. You know, Lester Martinez and other heavyweights and light heavyweights and middleweights, wherever he can get, where he can get, man. He always hold himself down. He always hold his ground, man. And people just don't know until they get in the ring. And they always say, just like Errol said, man, Bud power is real. It's real, man. And it's like, people say what he can and shouldn't and couldn't and haven't been. Like, that's what makes people great. Anybody that's ever been great, they always did something that people didn't expect.
Correct.
And that's going to be Bud. He's going to do something that nobody is expecting. A lot of people is expecting are real supporters, but a lot of people who's a doubter are going to be like, dang. Or they're going to come up with excuses.
From his earliest days in the gym, Bud was testing himself against giants, standing toe-to-toe with men far bigger and stronger. That's where the steel was forged and the confidence we see today was born. Nelson's reminder carried weight. True greatness comes from defying the odds. Doubt has always followed Crawford, but so have the moments that silenced it. And this time, Nelson hinted, the silence could shake the sport. Then Andre Ward stepped in, drawing from his own experience of moving up in weight. What he revealed about Crawford's situation flipped the narrative completely.
He's really moving up 3 weight classes since his last fight at 147 with Errol Spence roughly about 2 years ago. So it's really a 3 weight class jump. I think what people have to understand, and I had to understand this when I moved up to face Sergey Kovalev. I went and I consulted with Mackie Shieldston. And I kept using the phrase, I'm moving up in weight. I'm moving up in weight. I got to get my body ready to move up in weight. He said, have you seen the scale lately? Have you looked at your body scan lately? And I think at that time I was like maybe 185, 188. He said, you're not moving up in weight. You're just cutting less. And that was like, man, that was transformative for me because I looked and I was like, man, you're right. So technically I'm moving up weight classes, or a weight class in my case, but I'm really not moving up in weight. I'm just not having to boil myself down.
So it wasn't about bulking up or chasing pounds. It was about being free from the cut. Ward made it clear that Crawford isn't carrying a burden, he's shedding one. This isn't a man stepping into unfamiliar territory, it's a man entering his natural zone. That difference changes everything once the bell rings, because when your body feels whole, your mind fights without hesitation. And that's the version of Crawford Canelo will be facing. Ward didn't stop there. He broke down exactly why Crawford might show up stronger and sharper than ever before.
Endurance, not being able to boil himself down like that. And even though it is a huge jump, I think we lose sight of the fact of how much he had to boil down and how gaunt he looked at 140. And even quickly at 147, it got to the point where you start to cut into muscle mass. If you know anything about weight loss, at a certain point, that affects you in a boxing ring. Boxing, maybe wrestling, and MMA are the only sports where you have to tear yourself down for two months or 3 months, not just the training, but the weight loss. And then you have less than or right around 24 hours to put it back on, and then you need to go be great the next night. Everybody else gets to play or compete at their walking around weight or their playing weight. So I think that's gonna favor Terence Crawford, is not having to boil down 25 or 20, probably going to be
The endless grind of boiling down is gone. No more stripping muscle, no more walking into the ring drained. Ward reminded everyone that while most athletes compete at their natural weight, fighters are forced through a system that pushes them to the brink. Crawford lived that life, and now he's stepping away from it. With more energy, more strength, and more time to focus purely on fighting, he becomes a different animal. And when you mix skill with fresh endurance, you get a dangerous recipe. That's the man Ward sees waiting for Canelo. Then Ward turned his attention directly to Canelo, and his words carried the weight of a warning.
A couple of things are true. I think, number one, I think Father Time is catching up to Canelo. But it's subtle. A little less punch output than normal. Maybe the reflexes have weaned just a little bit, but he's still better than most fighters in the world today. I don't think the Skull fight was a matter of age. I think Canelo Alvarez is extremely crafty, not just in the ring, but up here. And it's similar to a football team scrimmaging early in preseason. I'm not pulling out the playbook. I'm gonna give you some mundane vanilla plays. We'll run some power left or some power right. We'll do a couple of slants. We'll show a little bit, but when we play you in the season, it's not going to be the same guy that you saw. So if people think that they're getting the Canelo Alvarez that fought Scrub, they're sadly mistaken. I think Canelo did just what he had to do. But when you face a real threat and you're a great fighter, you elevate mentally, psychologically, physically, because you have to. Canelo Alvarez is going to be different.
He hinted at something subtle. That time might be catching up, but greatness always finds another gear. Canelo may have looked slower in certain fights, but Ward stressed that champions don't show their full hand until it matters. Against a threat like Crawford, Canelo will rise, sharpen, and come alive. The danger isn't in what we've seen, it's in what's still hidden. Ward's words left the sense that September won't reveal the old or fading Canelo, but a version we've never seen before, one Crawford must be ready to break. After laying out the fine margins between greatness and decline, the conversation shifted to another respected voice in boxing. Adam Smith offered his perspective, and it carried the weight of experience.
Obviously, the Mexican machismo that holds all the super middleweight titles, nearly 70-odd fights. He's been phenomenal. I think he's 35 now. But for Terence Crawford, he has definitely gone under the radar. 4-weight world champion, 41-0, 31 knockouts. A southpaw who's got IQ and speed and craft. I think it's a fabulously interesting matchup, the two of them, because you've got the big guy, the strong, super super middleweight, really, really cultured, wonderful fighter in Canelo, but is he just slightly, ever so slightly, fine margins past his peak? And you've got Crawford, who needs this fight as is coming out.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. You won't want to miss what's coming next.